Hi, my name is Greg Marsh. I'm a natural vision teacher based in Fort Collins, Colorado. And this video is going to be an introduction to the so-called Bates method, um, some of the philosophy and theory behind it, and also natural vision improvement in general, how it could be possible to do that, how you can do it. And one of the things I'll do too is a little bit of a guided activity where I'm hoping that you'll be able to discover some strain, perhaps that you've never noticed before in your eyes. And perhaps then even more important is realizing that this strain, the eyes aren't just traveling by themselves, they're very integral with our whole being. And that seeing is this miraculous act that we do from head to toe. So, so if you have any kind of blurry vision, uh, it's just a certainty that you'll have some strain in your neck, in your shoulders, and then from there, depending on your situation, you may have strain in your chest and down your back. You may find that you don't breathe very much, and as you start to see more clearly and let some of these muscles participate more in that, they're just more naturally uh, going to find it easier to breathe. So um, one thing I want to really make clear is that this is not a medical approach. It's more like yoga or meditation. And in my own excursion, I'm a chemical engineer by training, and I got, here I'll just show you, I became very nearsighted, and these are some glasses I'll show off from my late 20s. Um, uh, Maybe you can tell that they're the real deal. Uh, so when I heard about this Bates approach, it was in the late 1970s. I was in my late 20s, so about 30 years ago. Um, I was really skeptical at first. I was practically hostile as a linear thinking engineer to be exposed to something so different. But I've just come to see this whole holistic health model that probably if you're watching this, at least you're somewhat dialed into. For some reason, it's forgotten the eyes. It's like they're left over here. Just well, let's give them some LASIK. That may help. But it's it's just been central to my life and other vision teachers that I've met too. It's been something that when they improved their eyesight, it wasn't just clearer eyesight. It was also that it really transformed their whole way of life. Now, one question I have for you is, have you ever noticed that some days your eyesight is a little clearer than other days? And if the answer to that is no, let me ask it another way. Have you ever noticed that some days your eyesight is a little less clear than other days? And and then let me just tease you a little bit. If you can see that your eyesight changes from day to day, can you imagine that that day when your vision's better and worse might actually require a slightly different prescription if you were to go to the eye doctor on that day? And then, and here's what happened for Dr. William H. Bates, who looked into these things a long time ago. Um, he thought, well, geez, if I can do this much by accident, what if I got a little bit intentional? And he dedicated his whole life to this approach of learning what really caused all these eye maladies, and he came to believe that it was mental strain, which becomes physical strain, which becomes uh, patterns of just tension all through our body, and that could manifest like you can create a stiff neck, right? If you're looking at your computer too hard, or a lot of people have created an ulcer or colitis or something like that, usually through a lot of worry or just some kind of unsettled emotions. So now think this miraculous act of seeing, and think how sensitive and dialed in that is to everything that's going on, and now add some fear or add a lot of tension or just a lot of fatigue, and maybe you can start to imagine where Dr. Bates was going with this. If you've ever heard of Hans Selye, he's the guru of stress, the one who got into all this fight or flight syndrome. He wrote his big book about stress in the early 1950s, and basically he proved completely to his satisfaction and many others that most of the diseases that we get are caused by strain and stress. But that doesn't make it easy to get rid of them. So one thing is to understand this model of how strain might be a factor in becoming nearsighted or farsighted, or maybe there's some astigmatism dialed in there, or need for reading glasses, or so many other eye conditions that might be aggravated by strain. But then the other part of the formula is, how do we rectify, how do we get things back to their natural state? And this isn't so easy. Remember Pavlov's dogs. Pavlov kept ringing the bell, and the dogs learned to salivate. You might say that we have all these Pavlovian responses in our vision, in our belly, in our neck, in our shoulders, that it's a little bit of a riddle of how to get rid of them. So I'm going to use these Halloween eyeballs to show a little bit about how Dr. Bates felt these strain patterns were operating on us. So let my fingers represent muscles around the eyes, and the key function of these muscles, there are 6 on the outside of the eye. The key function is to turn the eye, to rotate it in various ways. And now, feel your own eyes, and now we've got 2 of these, and just feel as if you could put a little strain on all these muscles. Okay, and now look around. Okay, now relax them and look around. In fact, kind of dance with them. Your eyes are dancing, you're happy. Okay, now put that strain back in and dance. Not quite happening, huh? Okay, so these strain patterns then can manifest in various ways. Maybe make the eyeball literally too long or too short, or some imbalance, make sort of an astigmatism. Now, pretend that you can isolate and feel the muscle that would contract to roll your eye backwards. And now actually do that, and pretend you can feel that muscle. And now pretend you can feel the different muscle that pulls them down, a different muscle to the right, a different muscle to the left. But what if all those muscles just didn't know what to do and somehow start all firing at once? Pretend you can feel that. Feel it a little more. And feel that tension that starts to create in your eyes, and amplify it. Make it as tense as you can. And just notice that your neck gets involved, your shoulders, and you may find other places throughout your body. And now let go. Probably feels really good to let go of that. Okay, now that's been a short overview of the Bates method, a short introduction. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's piqued your interest. I wanted to let you know about a couple of resources that I offer. Here's a CD program I created for Mercola.com, and they're a wonderful health resource. And also I offer consultations, and I offer workshops, and you can learn more about those on my website, visionimprovementcenter.com. So thanks very much for listening.